Oklahoma football is getting ready to go into spring ball and get better, and meanwhile, our rivals are worrying about a school song. So, we
Oh,
have to.
that's right. They are worried about a school song.
Oh Lord.
So something tells me that you've got some perspective on this.
So, Oklahoma's no stranger to having on-campus controversies. If you go back just about 7-8 years ago, we had the SAE incident, right? And we had, I won't go into details, but one frat member said something very bad, got caught on video saying it, and the Oklahoma administration were swift to act, and they removed the problem. They were not going to lose the football team. Down in Texas, it's a little more complicated because the Eyes of Texas is like one of the long-standing traditions. I've been to many OU Texas games. I've heard it. We like to make fun of them, and we like to sing "I've been working on the railroad" just to mock them a little bit, because that's the tune. It's "I've been working on the railroad." But like the Eyes of Texas is one of those like school songs where, if you really break it down, it's one of the creepiest like school songs you'll ever hear. It's about we're watching you, we're stuck. It's like we're stalking you in the night, and there are some little racial undertones to it. If we're all being honest, if you look into the history of the song, we have to like look ourselves in the mirror and we say that. Like the equivalent to that for Oklahoma is the OU chant, where it's about joining together. We're proud of our campus. We're proud of our school colors. We're beneath a western sky. Everyone's united together as one. There's no undertones there. My suggestion is that, first of all, some of the big 10-gallon hats need to, be grown-ups, and let's have an open conversation about it. Maybe you keep the melody. Maybe you entertain changing the lyrics a little bit, because, it's all about, they all love to put their little hand signal up in the air and wave arm in arm. That's great. We all love to do that at our schools with our various hand signals and whatnot, but just be willing to have open conversations about things and not write nasty letters and say that, certain members of your football team need to get over it. It's just it's a bad look for Texas. And I would hope that, they would be able to figure it. I guess the song is staying right now because they're going to there's a report that's going to validate it, that it wasn't this one Confederate general that said it. It was this other Confederate general that said the song or came up with the idea. So it's just not a good look if you're Texas. It's going to be used against them. I don't know if Lincoln Riley's going to do it, but everyone else beneath them is going to be using against them. Do you want to go to that place where they validate that song that came from? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So it's just, be willing to have open conversations about these things and try to have a dialogue, because, I think that's something this country needs a lot more nowadays in a lot of parts of life. Have more open,
absolutely,
more open and honest conversations where we could come to a compromise and move on with our lives.
Yeah, I don't know if a compromise is always possible, but it should be the goal, and would be the result many, many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that whether it be the transition from Mack Brown to Charlie Strong to Tom Herman, and now to Steve Sarkisian, there is no other job in the nation when there is an opening that the political undertones, and I'm not talking about political meaning racial, social issues, but just boosters, alumni, money getting involved and in the way, like Texas. You don't hear this with other big job openings, but when the Texas job becomes open, there is this baggage that comes with it.
Like when Charlie Strong was hired, we heard the name of a prominent Texas booster make some very questionable comments, and it was a story all week on, every sports show. The only major donor I know of at Oklahoma is the Gaylord family, because their name is on the stadium. I don't know donor names because they don't tend to get involved publicly with this stuff or have letters that show up in the Austin American Statesman. It's just a bad look overall. And so who's in charge down there in Austin, Texas? Don't get me wrong, Austin's a really cool city. If you want to have a good time and have a party, Austin's a cool place to go. It's not just about the school, university. It's it's the capital of Texas. It's a cool place to go. But you have culture clashes down there, and that's why they're constantly in this this circular mode of like, well, we're going to get the new coach, and once every 3 or 4 years, you'll upset Oklahoma, but you'll still be 8-4. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Again, Sean Forster, you see his YouTube channel right there. I found him and wanted to have him on here to talk some Sooners. So, Sean, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.